Arsenal fans, Arsenal FC, please, 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 guys, we need to change this. We need to change that we are a bad selling club. We need to change this, guys. I saw reports, obviously, we've seen the reports about Kiwior, right? That Kiwior is set to move to Porto for, what is it? 27 million euros. What's that in pounds? That's like what, 22, 23 million pounds? That's near and about what Arsenal paid for Kiwior. I think we paid like 20 million pounds for him, something like that. Really? Really? That's the fee we're getting for Kiwior in a window where Gerald Konsa has gone to Leverkusen for £34 million. £34 million. Gerald Konsa has gone to Bayer Leverkusen. We're really only squeezing 27 million euros for Kiwior? Really? In a league where Jean-Claire Todibo, very, very, honestly, I don't know what the hype is about. He's a, quite frankly, looks like an average defender. He was signed for like nearly £35 million by West Ham. What was it, last summer? The transfer fee was made permanent this summer, I believe. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like Arsenal, this is an area where we really need to change. We need to change our reputation. I believe our reputation in terms of we become better buyers. We're actually buying better players now. As in, like, in terms of building a squad, we're buying better players in comparison to the likes of Socrates and Guendouzi and who's actually decent, to be fair. All of these bad buys. What's his name? Shkodran Mustafi. We've gotten rid of that. We've gotten rid of that. And power to us. But selling club, we need to change this. And we actually just need to take a leaf out the book of our rivals. Like, let me just give you these stats before I get to Kiwior. Arsenal's record sale is still Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. £35 million we sold him to Liverpool. This was 8 years ago. Guess how many teams have a higher record sale than Arsenal? Liverpool do. They sold Coutinho, obviously, for 135 M's. Chelsea, 130 M's. Hazard, something like that. Man City have a higher record sale. They sold Sterling to Chelsea for 50 M's. That's crazy. That's City's record sale. That's mad. United obviously sold Ronaldo to Madrid. Spurs obviously sold Kane for, what was it, 80 M's? Something like that. Gareth Bale for like 85 M's. But Wolves have a higher record sale than Arsenal. Mateus Cunha to United for 62.5 M's. Leeds have a higher record sale than Arsenal. Rafinha to Barcelona, 55 M's. Crystal Palace, higher record sale than Arsenal. Now, selling Eze, 67.5 M's to Arsenal. And before that, it was Wan-Bissaka to United for 50 M's. Fulham have a higher sale than have a higher record sale than Arsenal. Mitrovic to Al Hilal, 50 M's. Nottingham Forest have a higher record sale than Arsenal. Brennan Johnson to Tottenham, 45 M's. Brentford have a higher record sale than Arsenal. Ivan Toney to Al Ali for 40 M's. Newcastle United, higher record sale. Elliot Anderson to Forest, 35 M's. Not to mention Forest sold Elanga, 55 M's to Newcastle. So actually that would be their highest record sale now. I'm not even including the likes of Leicester, who sold who sold Mahrez for what was it, 60 M's, or Maguire for 80 M's. So all of these teams have higher record. There's clearly some. I don't want to hear any excuses. There's something that the club is not doing right. Even when I was reminiscing about it yesterday, I'm like, man, we sold Fabregas, guys. Deep it. We sold Cesc Fabregas for £29 million. with 3 years left on his deal. Because he wanted to go to Barcelona, his dream club, and he's been such a good servant. Yeah, great. I see that. But you are taking the mickey. 29 million. 29 million we let him go in his prime, at his peak, with 3 years left on his deal. We let Cesc Fabregas go for 29 million. Nah, this is a problem. Now back to Kiwior, 27 million euros. I don't care what anyone tells me. That is not a good fee. I'm not happy with that fee. And one of the themes we're seeing in the transfer window that I actually think is good, it's annoying, but that the game is the game, is that clubs are using comparative sales. So clubs are using comparative sales. Why is that important? So what does that mean? It means, for example, when we were trying to negotiate with RB Leipzig, right, and they had their price tag that they refused to budge on, they were like, okay, cool, this is our price tag based on the fact that Ekitike, his price tag, because we know he's on the market, we know what Frankfurt are selling him for, and this is his goal record. His goal record is identical to Sesko's. Therefore, if he's going to go for whatever the fee he went for, Sesko should go for the fee he went for. That's why the Gyökeres deal is actually it's good money. It's a good deal. It's good value business. Because if comparative sale, player age, and all this sort of stuff were factored into play, bro, we should have actually paid a lot more to Sporting, right? Why are we not doing that with Kiwior? He's 25 years old. He's made across 2 seasons, the past 2 seasons, he's had 60 Premier League appearances. It's not like he's not played minutes. The guy gets minutes. We were decimated with injuries last season. He got minutes. The season before, he got minutes. He got a lot of minutes playing at left back. Did a good job. I remember our renaissance in the season that we only lost the league by 2 points. When was it? The 23-24 season, when we signed Declan Rice and Timber and Havertz. That January 2024 to May 2024 run. People forget that Zinchenko was injured, that Tierney was injured. It was Kiwior playing left back. And then that unit, Kiwior, Saliba, Gabriel and White were just doing a madness. We were bopping teams and our defense was sick. Kiwior played a part in that. The guy's not a rubbish. The guy's actually a good defender. Look at what he did when he stepped. Obviously, he's made some errors, but the guy's, for me, Kiwior 75% of the times he's been a more than reliable deputy. So I can't understand, and it's not like he's not Premier League proven or Champions League proven. He's played in the Champions League. I believe he played both legs against Real Madrid, like last season. So my thing is, he's got Champions League experience. He's got Premier League experience. He's a Polish international, and he's only 25 years old. He's entering his peak. He's not even entering his peak yet as a defender. You've got tons of resale value here. How is it that we're only squeezing 27 million euros for him? And bear in mind, teams have been wanting him. Juventus, AC Milan, the annoying thing is just these teams don't really have that much money. Teams been wanting him. Ever since we bought him, I feel like there's not been a window where there's not been interest in Kiwior. So teams want him. So how we only... Yeah, I don't get this. How is Gerald Konsa going for 34 million and we can't even get 30 million pounds? You're probably thinking, okay, Tosin, this is not a big deal. No, yeah, it is a big deal. Because the money we're buying, the players we're buying, stuff is going to have to balance out. Things are going to need to lean out. And what can help us to avoid all of this nonsense where we're waiting for players? We nearly didn't get Eze because of this. What can help us if we just sell well? Now, if you ask me how much did I sell Kiwior for, he should be going for at least 30 to 35 million pounds, not euros. 30 to 35 million pounds. That's what he should be going for, right? That's exactly what he should be going for. I think the club's done a bit better with the likes of Balogun. Obviously, we sold him for 34 million last summer. Was it Balogun? Yeah, we sold him for 34 million. We sold Nketiah for 30 million up front, plus 5 in add-ons. Yeah, that's good business. ESR, we sold him. Smith Rowe, 27 million up front, 7 million in add-ons. And obviously, look, Nelson, we're looking to sell for what I'm hearing is 15 million pounds. Not to mention, I think we sold Joe Willock How much did we sell Willock for? I think we sold Willock for a good fee. What was it, like 25 to 30 M's? Let me actually check that. Willock fee. Yeah, how much did Joe Willock go for? Let me just, because I think when it comes to our homegrown talents, we've done a better job. Okay, cool, yeah. We sold him for £25 million, right? So yeah, that's not bad. So we're actually doing well with our Hay lenders. I guess it's just the Lokongas, the Vieiras, the Zinchenkos, and then everyone else. I think we just need to do a bit better. I'm even thinking now, we need these players gone. Lokonga, Vieira, Zinchenko. I guess with them, it's a bit. Kiwior is the one I'm going to fight for, but Lokonga, Vieira, Zinchenko is kind of hard. And I think we've shot ourselves in the foot because we're buying these players, and clearly, evidently, we must be offering them much higher wages than they should be on because no one wants to buy them. Or if people want to buy them, they want a massively reduced fee because they're gonna have to pay a lot in wages. And plus, at the same time, when we don't want a player, we don't do a good job in terms of giving them the best opportunity to be resold. We either get them garbage loans or they just rot on the bench. It's just, I guess with Zinchenko, Lokonga, it's a bit different because of the injuries, and that's not helped us. So that one, look, I think we're just going to need to take what we get and cut our losses, which is annoying because these guys cost money. Zinchenko cost 30 M's. Vieira cost, what is it, around £30 million. So we're going to need to make a loss on these guys. And Lokonga, what was it, like 15 M's? Something like that. So look, beggars can't be choosers. I'll take what I get with them, but I would have definitely have liked to have seen a bigger fee for Kiwior. And I hope that I hope the Nelson 15 M's, which is fair for injury prone but decent player, I'll take that. I hope this can be the start of, especially with Andre Berta, I hope this can be the start of us actually really changing our approach and our dynamic in terms of how we do these things. So yeah, anyways guys, thanks for listening to my video. Mini rant over. Take care.